My name is Nasim Jahangir. I am a clinician by profession, working with the Department of Health, Kilifi County, as a HIV/STI coordinator in the sub-county. I'm also the founder and the CEO of Connect to Retain, a community-based organization that is youth-led and is located in the coastal region of Kenya. What my organization does, we focus on 4 thematic areas, that is health, entrepreneurship, advocacy, and also we do education. So for the health component, my organization focuses on improving the lives of adolescent girls and young women through several strategies. When we have evidence-based interventions, we use these targeting different age groups for the purpose of reduction of HIV infections among young girls and adolescents. We also do this to contribute towards reduction of teenage pregnancies in Kilifi County. So we have several evidence-based interventions like the sugar, we have Family Matters, Health Choices for Better Future, My Health, My Choice. So an example of the sugar series, we use the community video dance to showcase the sugar series movie that at the end of the show we are already the participants bring up a debate to discuss on the issues that they have seen in the movie. And from there, we have facilitators who take them through life skill sessions. We have Family Matters. So for the Family Matters, we involve parents and teach them and also guide them on how they can talk to their teenage kids on sexual matters and reproductive health, because we find that they tend to shy away from talking about sexual health. So we give them the education on how they can go about this. We also have integrated, we support the county government to conduct integrated outreaches. On these outreaches, we are able to do treatment of common illnesses, but most of our focus goes into HIV testing, linkage and referral. We also do cervical cancer screening. We also do screening of sexual transmitted infections and treatment. And we are also able to give information on family planning and also give family planning services. The other component that we do is gender-based violence component. So we have we conduct legal aid clinic in Kilifi County, where we have a pro bono lawyer who does this legal aid clinic that is supported by us. So we are able to bring in all victims of gender-based violence so that they can also be supported into accessing justice. The other component is on HIV. We have community adherence treatment supporters who are adolescent and young people living with HIV below the age of 24. So we use them as peers to the other peers of young people who are living with HIV for the purpose of following them up to ensure that they are there to treatment, to ensure that they're able to come back to clinic. Sometimes we face young people not adhering to clinic or they default from clinic. So we use these treatment supporters to bring them back to clinic. So the other component is on Know Your Rights campaign. This campaign aims at creating awareness on human rights, specifically for sexual reproductive health and HIV law. We focus mostly on Section 4 of the Constitution. So this way, our beneficiaries are able to get literacy on general literacy on human rights so that they can be able to make informed choices. The last component we do in health is on menstrual hygiene management. So number one, we try to raise funds to and collect sanitary towels and dignity packs that we distribute to our beneficiaries. And at the same time, we're also currently domesticating the menstrual hygiene management policy for Kilifi County, and we are hoping to be the first ever county to take the chance. We are hoping that we'll take this chance to be the first ever county to domesticate the menstrual hygiene management policy, and Connect to Retain, that is the organization I work for, will be spearheading this process. So in a nutshell, that's what we do in the health department. I come from a village in Kwale County where I was raised seeing young girls not completing their education. And for reasons that are maybe teenage pregnancies or early marriages. And this really disheartened me, and I really wanted to pursue a course that will make me gain the skills that I'm able to go back home and mentor them and talk about issues on sexual reproductive health in a way that I can be able to break this barrier and be able to empower my community. So after that, I was able to pursue a course in clinical medicine, and I was lucky to be employed by the Department of Health in Kilifi County. And my first posting, I worked in a HIV clinic. So in this HIV clinic, I used to meet young people who are living with HIV. We had several clinic days, but they were all mixed up in an adult clinic, pediatric clinic, and adolescent clinic. So I thought we used to miss out on their issues, especially sexual reproductive health and other barriers that they face as people who are living with HIV. So I decided to form a support group for adolescent and young people living with HIV, and it had a membership of 150 members, because I had seen in firsthand the pain that these kids go through in terms of the barriers and the issues they can't discuss. They're not able to access information on how they can live on sexual health, and it was becoming a barrier because you find out that they're not able to disclose, and this becomes a barrier for them to take medication. They want to go into a relationship, they don't know how to go about it because they don't want to disclose to the partner that they have HIV. So this platform was give us the space to discuss issues that were directly affecting them, and we were able to bring in speakers also to talk to them and peers. So this really motivated me, and I was lucky also to be awarded the Mandela Washington Fellowship scholarship. So I went to the US. This is a flagship program by the President of the United States, the former President Barack Obama, the 44th president. So when I went there, I was lucky to study civic leadership, and one of my goals was to come home and start a community-based organization that I named Connect to Retain, that empowers young people and adolescent girls in Kilifi County and Kwale. So for the impact, so far we have engaged and reached out to more than 10,000 students in high school through our mentorship program that is dubbed Antichimu. We've also managed to reach out to more than 10,000 beneficiaries through our integrated outreaches. More than 1,300 people have been reached with evidence-based interventions, the Sugar, the Family Matters. For the Know Your Rights campaigns, we are happy to have been able to reach out to more than 600 beneficiaries in the last 2 years. And also the biggest highlight is being able to follow up adolescents and young people living with HIV in Kilifi South sub-county, who are more than 450 who are currently on follow-up through the community adherence treatment counselors. And again, for Connect to Retain, we have community mentors, we have facilitators that are implementing our programs in the community. And we are proud of that because we have over 150 young people out there who are benefiting from a stipend every month. And we're proud of this because these are people who used to be economically dependent of their parents, and they were so vulnerable into going into drugs or even sexual transactional sex. So we are happy that we're engaging them into empowering their community. So the biggest success stories for me as a Chief Executive Officer and also as Connect organization, the Connect to Retain organization, is through the community adherence treatment counselors. So for these community adherence treatment supporters that I mentioned, that are young people below the age of 24 who are living with HIV and who are able to follow up on other young people who are living with HIV, to support them with adherence, to follow them up in case they default from coming to clinic and bringing them back. So from the UN targets, that as a country we're supposed to achieve the 95 targets. That is ensuring that we have 95 of people who are tested for HIV, and then 95 of those who test positive are linked into care, and 95 of those who are linked into care those who are 95 of those who have started on treatment are suppressed virally. So this initiative of using the community address treatment has improved the suppression rate for adolescents and young people who are living with HIV in Kilifi South from 75% to 85%, and we are getting closer to the 95%, which is the target, and we're really proud of this. The other success story is we feel that we have contributed towards the reduction of teenage pregnancies. So if you look at the data in 2019, the data says that we had 33% of teenage pregnancies in Kilifi County. And when we started this initiative and our interventions, we noted that in 2020, we were able to have a reduction by more than 10% improvement in the reduction of teenage pregnancies. This is data from demographic health information system that is available online. So that's something we're really proud of, and we feel the outreaches that we've conducted, the evidence-based interventions, have contributed towards this achievement. The other success story is that we've been able to scale up our programs to Kwale County, and currently we're implementing our programs in Kwale County. And the other achievement is on the mentorship program, where we have more than 6,000 girls who are benefiting, especially during this time of COVID-19 when they were not in school. COVID-19 pandemic has been a difficult year, I think, for everyone, and particularly for Connect to Retain, but we took up the challenge to ensure that we don't stop doing what we are doing. So the mentorship program that I was talking about was launched during this time of pandemic, and this model is a peer-led model, a women by women. So the model came in very handy when school-going kids were at home, and this is the time when they are vulnerable to a lot of vices, to perpetrators of gender-based violence, to many vices that might make them not go back to school or contribute to early pregnancies or early marriages. So the mentorship program, as I said, is a life skill, so it builds them on life skills. This is something that is not taught in school, and we have a curriculum for that to empower these young girls. The other impact we had is we supported the county government of Kilifi in training of healthcare workers on the guidelines of COVID-19. We also participated in COVID-19 health promotion campaigns, talking about COVID-19, especially to border riders, and trying to create awareness outside there on COVID-19 measures. The other thing is we were able to supply sanitary towels, dignity packs to needy girls during this time. So we got donations from different partners, and also protective gears like face masks, sanitizers, and we distributed them to our beneficiaries and also their family members. And then so the other thing we did was to use our social media platforms. We have very vibrant and real-time social media platforms that we've been using them to reach out to our beneficiaries and even the community at large, especially young people who really use the social media platform most of the times during the day to create awareness. We conducted webinars and also invite speakers to talk about COVID-19. I envision Connect to Retain to be to have grown into a way that we will be able to reach out to the entire Jumuiya ya county za Pwani, and also scale up our programs to all the Jumuiya ya county za Pwani. Secondly, I envision that we will be able to start state-of-the-art resource centers in the counties where we implement our programs. These are community-based, and the other plan we have is for the gender-based violence, gender-based violence component. We wish to continue this program by even developing rescue centers and recovery centers for the victims of gender-based violence in the counties where we will be implementing our programs. So the theme this year is to choose to challenge, and since I started these initiatives and interventions, the choose to challenge and to change the narrative of my community has been my goal, and I think I've been able to achieve partly of the goals that I've always wished, and to change the narrative in my community. And from the data that I've shared, the impact that we've had in our programs, I think this puts me as one of the best candidates for this award. And also Zuri Award, I believe that the Zuri Award will act as a motivation, because you look at the International Women's Day this year, we'll be celebrating great leaders and champions, women in the society who are doing a great job. And I feel like I have, as a woman, and with all the initiatives and interventions that we've done as an organization, with my colleagues who are also women in the society who are also striving to do a lot for their community, this will act as a motivation. And also, if I win the Zuri Award, it will make me as a role model to the girls that we serve, and it will motivate them to keep working hard and ensuring that their future is bright. So this Zuri Award will motivate me as a person, and also at the same time, I think Zuri Awards will give me a platform where I will be able to network. So far during the exhibition, I was able to meet different people who do different things, and I think that was just a start. So that's what makes me feel that I'm best suited to win this award. Some of the activities and interventions that we do are really aligned to this year's International Women's Day and some of the SDG goals. For example, the mentorship program that I said is a women to women. So it's women by women to women. So we train mentors, and these mentors are women are young girls coming from the community, and in return they're able to reach out to other girls in the community as with life skills models. And the other thing is on the Know Your Rights campaign, this model is purely biased to women for the purpose of enlightening them to understand the human rights and be able to make informed decisions, especially in the community where they don't have access to this information. The Anti-Chimo program is a mentorship program, and at the same time it offers career guidance to girls and young women in the schools. So Anti-Chimo focuses on giving this career guidance to girls, especially to pursue on STEM. STEM is not mostly is assumed, it's predominantly assumed to be a career path for men, but we want to change this narrative by trying to talk to them about choosing to follow the STEM way.